Hey, this is Dr. Chad Kuntz, and welcome back to the Daily Prime. I wanted to talk about a big topic today. The topic, I feel like my body is failing me. In the rehab world, I have to say that the mental rehabilitation process is actually much more difficult than the physical and mechanical. And this is actually proven in more sports psychology too. That's where they started to first do this research. They noticed the athletes were actually physically, mechanically ready to get back to doing whatever that sport was, but mentally they weren't there. Mentally they weren't trusting their body and having confidence in their movement. And that's what I see a lot of times too here in the rehabilitative world. In the rehabilitative world, you come to a fork in the road where you either say, listen, my body's doing the best it can. I know I need to work with this. It's kind of more the optimistic standpoint. I know I have this injury, but I'm sure there's something I'm doing wrong that's causing it. Let's figure out the root cause and let's move forwards. Or there's a gamut of other people that say, my body's just not working with me anymore. It's failing me. It's kind of rejecting me. I'm doing everything I can, but my body's not working with me. And you start to really get into some deep psychological layers here, where you start to kind of distrust your body, you don't like your body, and you start to play with your identity. And that's really where you get into some big stuff. That's where the tears come out. That's where the frustrations come out. Maybe you can't do that at home workout anymore. You can't help out with your children. You can't pick this up. And all of a sudden you look in the mirror and you're kind of like, who am I really now at this point? Who am I? And you get into that point, and that's where the frustrations occur. The reality is your body is an amazing machine. It continues to amaze me when I work with it each and every day, what we're able to change and how quickly and rapidly we are. But we forget that the brain's attached to all of our muscles and system, and it has, we may never know the power of the brain and truly what extent it has and in terms of an effect on your body. But I can tell you right now, it's substantial. It's incredibly substantial. Let's just pivot real quick and think about this for a second. If someone comes in and they think that their labrum is ripped apart, their doctor described it like that, it's ripped apart. They said, man, that thing's hanging by a thread, be careful with that, I saw your MRI. Versus someone that goes, my doctor took a look and yeah, he saw some labral tears on there, but he really thinks it's actually more of a muscle strain. And my physical therapist and even chiropractor, they too believe it's more of a strained muscle. Now, take those two people and then compare them. If I ask them, go ahead and raise your arm overhead, right? What do you think the first person's going to do? That person's going to be terrified. Versus the second person go, I can kind of push through it. I feel a little bit there. But in the back of their mind, they've got a story behind it. They're pretty confident it's more so just muscles. So having a story as to what exactly is going on and being open-minded to confront that story is so important. And I have to say, sometimes unethically, I hear other professionals telling my clients certain things like, well, you're always going to need to come back to me, or yeah, your back's shot. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to just really baby this thing and keep seeing us for a long time. People believe that. They really do. Of course they do. They're working with someone that they trust. They're working with a health professional. They're working with a doctor. But the reality is that can really hit home and maybe change their thought process forever about who they are and how likely their body's willing to work with them. So I think it's always important to make sure you're getting multiple different opinions. If you run into that position when you feel like your body's failing you, you have talked to several different people, and you need to get a better opinion as to what the take-home point is. A lot of times, there's something we can do. And think about this. What is life without hope? If you don't have hope, boy, the other route doesn't really look good, right? So really my take-home, too long to listen, finishing point here is we need to almost always maintain hope, because the other route isn't very good. I want you to seek out multiple opinions if you've been told that your body is failing you, or that you really doesn't look good for you to get back to doing the things you want. And just get a lot of different opinions so that you know your story as to what's going on. And I can tell you right now, your body is doing everything it can to help you move forwards. Sometimes our clinical belief system isn't matching it. but we are maybe too stubborn to even think about that. Maybe I sit a certain way and I go, well, so-and-so told me to sit like that, but it really hurts. Well, maybe that's not the way for you to sit. Maybe there's actually a better way for you to sit. And if you have, less pain then, is your body failing you? We like to place this strong thought onto our body, but the reality is our clinical model doesn't always match what's realistically playing out. I know that's some kind of big or heavy stuff, but I hear it in here all the time, and I want to kind of just throw up that elephant in the room and talk about him, because I think it's really important for people's ability and their prognosis to succeed, to feel better. Thank you guys so much.